Imagine this, a world without social media. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Twinfluence, where this week you only get me, Carrie. Next week, you will get Dr. Mina Blazy. So many of you have been watching the news. If you were on TikTok, your phone, you were logged in on a Saturday, right? What was that date? Saturday. Let me get my Saturday the 18th. Saturday the 18th, you were logged into TikTok, and then you just got this pop up that says you no longer have access. Then some of us went to CapCut and we no longer had access. Why? Because we found out. How many of you actually knew? How many of you knew that CapCut was owned by the same company that owns TikTok? So you might be thinking, how could I imagine a world without social media? Now, I grew up in a world where we had landlines, we had tube TVs, the three color TVs, not flat screen TVs. We had tube TVs, and we, the kids, were the remote control. Here's some fun facts. Adult ages or age 25 to 29 are predominantly wireless only users. This thing, with 88% relying on this thing, cell phones. In contrast, only 47% of adults age 65 and over exclusively wireless. Now, my mother still has a landline. Could you even function if you didn't have your cell phone? Like, what would you do? Did you ever imagine electric cars or self-driving cars? How about a computer as a phone? This thing, what I've been talking about. How about your watch as a phone? And even and could you have even imagined your watch if you fell into a body of water, let's just say the ocean, that this thing could help somebody find you? Could you have even imagined, like, we can run, we can walk, and this will track our steps? How about the Meta glasses? The glasses that you can ask Meta what you're looking at. These glasses that you can record by just saying, hey, Meta, record. And then all of a sudden, the light starts flashing, right? Who could have thought that? Here, I'll do it this way so you can see it work. Like, who would have thought? Hey, Meta, stop recording. There you go. It's off. No way. As a kid, we went outside, we played, we rode our bikes. No way could any of us have imagined this. Maybe if you were real tech savvy. How about ChatGPT, OpenAI, where it would work faster than even Google? So for years, during the pandemic, we heard of the threat that TikTok would be shut down. The former president, now the back as the president, said we were going to get rid of TikTok. And then he brought it back. So ask yourself, did you even believe it? I was like, I believe it. I can even remember telling one of my kids, the youngest, who has about 300,000 followers between two TikTok accounts. I'm like, you need to diversify your social media and head over to Instagram, Facebook, not quite Threads at the time, but definitely YouTube. I'm sure he's on Twitch. Yeah, there are so many of us that didn't take it seriously. Is that you? Like, tell me in the feed. Tell me if you're watching this live. If you're watching the replay, you can just type it in the chat. So I actually thought that the government would not vote to have it go away, but maybe try to do some things differently, but it went away. And that, so the day came where TikTok, 24 hours before it shut down, I got an email. I don't know if you got an email, but I got an email. And it said, you need to download your data, and basically download your data and maybe even download any income or save it, do what you had to do, move it. Because I'm not deemed an influencer on TikTok, but I have over 12,000 followers. I can do I can go live. I can have a TikTok shop or use the TikTok shop where my son, Jonathan, he gets the ad drop every Thursday because he has a lot of followers. So I had to do something 24 hours in advance. But guess what? Friday, I didn't see the email. Saturday, January 18th, TikTok, the social media app, was no longer available for users in the United States. The app was still on my phone, but I couldn't use it. I did see people post on social media. Don't judge me. I'm going to They're using a VPN to make the app work. But you still can't even download it right now in the United States because it came back, right? So believe it or not, there were many users that didn't think it would go away, business as usual. And when it went away, they were convinced that it would come back. Now, did it come back? Yes, it came back. But right now it's for 90 days. And I think everybody needs to rethink social media. So there are so many lessons from the TikTok ban. I got on my notes here. This is literally what I wrote out based on my thoughts. So there are so many lessons from TikTok, the TikTok ban in the United States. Some that didn't think, many that, well, let me get my thoughts together. Some that I don't think many are ready to reconcile with. There are so many people that are like, you know what, Carrie, it is what it is. Business as usual. We're back. However, there are many simple lessons from losing access to one of the most used social media platforms in the United States and in the world. Now, once the app came back, I've seen many posts on other social media platforms that are saying don't use it, especially if you've never used the platform. Now, I could agree with that. If you didn't have it before, you don't need to go there. But let's just say you decided to download it. If you get the ability to download it, I'm going to say you might want to check it out so you understand it. But I would say if you had it, it's back, keep using it. But lessons I learned from TikTok being shut down. Number one, we get up every day with a concept of business as usual. Don't assume that your reality will stay that way. Don't assume it. Number two, people are addicted to social media. Even today on the news, I saw that there was one kid that realized that he was addicted and he switched from a regular smartphone to a flip phone for like 7 or 30 days. And he said he got better sleep. He said he got his homework done. It actually was better for him. Interesting, right? Number three, my husband said he didn't need it. He would survive without it because he used it for entertainment, to learn or catch up on the latest gossip. I don't know. I'm thinking he's addicted. Number four, if the government can take away your access to one social media platform, what else gets shut down? Because there's a lot of things they might want to work on, but TikTok, I get it. We don't want another country to have our access to our information. But if we can shut down one platform overnight, just imagine what else could get shut down. Number five, don't put your eggs in one basket, especially with social media. Number six, you need a network outside of social media. Number seven, plan for the unexpected. Expect to lose access to social media, the internet, and cell services. Number eight, if your business is only housed on one social media platform, are you prepared for the what if it goes away? If your business is only housed on social media, have you thought about what you could do differently? Number nine, keep your database in a CRM or old school spreadsheet. I still have a list of all of my clients in a spreadsheet. Do you have the ability to connect with people on your network if social media goes down? That's why you need a CRM. Can you e-blast and say, hey, Facebook's down, Instagram's down, TikTok's down, but I'm still here to answer your questions? You don't own your database if it's only on social media. You do not own your list. So you need to probably extract that. Number 10, diversify your income strategy. If it's just social media or TikTok, you need to rethink that. And then number 11, your history could be lost forever. It could be lost forever. So I want you to imagine this, a world without social media. Now, there was a world without social media, pre-social media, because we lived it. When I got licensed in 2001 as a real estate agent, we went into the office. We worked in the office. We downloaded a mailing list. We cold called. We had flip phones, so it was rare that we would text, and we were watching our minutes on our phones. We door knocked. We put doorknob bags out. We worked with the people we knew. So I can imagine a world without social media because we did it. I'm in a different age group. So here we are. Action steps. Number one, if the government can vote to shut down TikTok, what else will they shut down to interrupt businesses? So when we talk about action steps, you need to make sure that you have a strategy for if it gets shut down. Number two, expect social media to get shut down and create a list of people you know in a spreadsheet. And don't just have the spreadsheet on the computer. You might want to back up, print it out. I'm going old school, traditional. Number 3, go outside and meet people, network, and learn in person. Number 4, expect the internet to go down. I said expect the social media to go away, but I'm saying expect the internet to go down. It has already been shut down in other countries. It's already being discussed in the United States, believe it or not. In India, it was down for 5,000 hours. That's about 208 days. You're probably having like a moment of what if the internet actually went away? What would you do if this happened in the United States? Do you have a plan, action steps? Do you have something in place if the internet went away? Do you even have a landline? I'm not saying go out and get one, but you might want to call your internet provider or your phone landline provider to see if you can actually make a phone call if the internet went down. Number 5, get involved and have a voice in your community. You might even want to not just have a voice in your community, but you might want to show up to the legislative meetings in your state and in the United States. You might want to show up in person. Number 6, connect with people in person, online, and social media. You can no longer think that you are only using social media to build a business. Can you pivot if necessary? And then remember, when I was giving you the lessons, your history could be lost forever. How many of you actually you've been uploading photos to Facebook since we got Facebook and you haven't had a real photo album? Or you make a comment every single day, you tell people what you're doing, and your social media is your life journal or your life's work. You might want to start keeping a real journal. You might want to break out a pen. You might want to start writing, and you might want to go upload your photos. I don't know, Walgreens, CVS, who does photos? Shutterfly, and you might want to have that printed out. You might want to rethink that. So, I gave you my action steps, and let me just really kind of reiterate. I think you need a journal. I think you need a photo album. I also think you need to get up, get dressed, and go outside. And I think you need to figure out how to do traditional marketing in addition to social media and integrate it so you can be found in the event social media goes away. So, what if you no longer had social media? Did you plan for it? Start taking action today. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's going to happen. Don't get caught off guard. I'm Carrie Little. You can follow me on Instagram, where I typically go live every Fridays at 9:05 a.m. Central Time. I can be found on TikTok. I'm still on TikTok. Make sure you take a second and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and keep coming back every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central to watch Twinfluence, where it is typically Dr. Mina Blazey, my twin, and myself, Carrie Little. And I'm also the designated managing broker of Caremark Realty Group in Illinois and Florida. I want you to continue learning to earn with me.